Some of you are not going to like listening to this. And that's because this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a while, and I haven't known exactly how to put it out there without getting a huge amount of backlash. But just recently, I've had quite a lot of students get in touch to say that they're using usually ChatGPT or one of the other various forms of AI to help with their CeMAP studies. And it's kind of done them a bit of a dirty. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about when you shouldn't use things like ChatGPT and actually ways that you can that will be helpful. So what a lot of people are doing is they're asking ChatGPT to prep them for their FSRE or for their CeMAP studies. And it's a great idea in principle, but the main problem that I've seen is that ChatGPT does not have access to your CeMAP textbook. And I think this has become more of a big issue because I've even noticed that on the Walbrook Institute's website, when you log into your My LIBF portal, there is a statement on there that says, whilst we appreciate that things in real life can update, that's not how they word it, but you get the idea, we don't want you to use what is going on in the economy in real time. We only want you to use what you've learned from the textbook. So a lot of students are using ChatGPT to test them on CeMAP, and ChatGPT is actually giving them the real life, what is happening right now in the economy scenario or what's happening with mortgage providers. But that's new. And your textbook, even if you've got this year's version, it has not been kept up to date with some of the stuff that actually goes on in reality. An example would be in your CeMAP textbook, it tells you that a suitability report, which is a document that's needed for a bunch of different things, is not a requirement for a mortgage. However, there are a lot of lenders, and if you work for one of these, you will know, that do still provide them with mortgages because it used to be a thing. Now, if you're posed with that question in your exam, you need to know you don't need it for mortgages. If you put it into ChatGPT, it will tell you that they are often provided for mortgages. So there is a little bit of a crossover because ChatGPT pulls its information from all over the internet. You can't use that information. You have to use what's in your textbook. So just remember that if you're studying for CeMAP, you need the textbook stuff, not the stuff off the internet. And I know you're probably thinking at this point, okay, well, what if I feed the whole textbook into ChatGPT and then just tell it to give me the information from there? As somebody who has tested this theory, it's not quite there yet. And that's not to say it won't be there in the next couple of months, maybe even next couple of weeks. But right now, it isn't trained enough to just pull the data from the sources that you give it. It will always trip over or bring something in from the outside. So please, if you are using ChatGPT to study, great, but please make sure you're fact checking with the textbook. If you're one of my students, you can fact check with me, and I would definitely encourage you to do that. What I'm not going to encourage you to do, though, is send me 100 questions from ChatGPT and ask me to answer them in alignment with the textbook, because you've got the textbook and you guys can do that yourself. But with that being said, I'm not going to tell you never to use AI or never to use ChatGPT for your studies, because actually, if you use it right, there are some really, really good tools that you can utilize, especially if you're not using something like a fast track course or an e-learning platform. Because with those, the legwork has been done for you. I will give you the downloadable flashcards, the audio files, the prompts, the exact bits that you need. But if you're studying with a textbook and you are finding it quite laborious, you can do things like put your notes from your textbook into ChatGPT and ask it to make them into flashcards for you that you can download and print, or make them into simpler summaries. If you get to a section of your textbook that you really don't understand, maybe it's uncrystallized funds, pension lump sums, you can ask ChatGPT to explain that to you on a level that is a little bit more human. The risk that you face with that is, does the data align with the textbook? Again, because it might be that they have either too much or too little information to give you. So definitely use it to turn stuff into flashcards. Definitely use it to help simplify your notes or expand on topics that you're not familiar with. Just be careful with that last one. The best thing that I've used it for is to schedule my studying. So if you feel like you've got a really full schedule, what you can do is feed your schedule into something like ChatGPT and say, I need you to build me a study plan if I know I need to do 4 hours a week for the next 6 weeks to get qualified, or however that looks. It will build it for you. Now, you do have access to those study plans in the free version of my e-learning platform, so you don't have to pay for it to access them, but it might be that that doesn't align with exactly how you want to get through it. So definitely use it for those things. But please remember, right now, use ChatGPT to your advantage with those things. please don't use it as a textbook or as an e-learning or fast track course replacement, because it's not going to give you the right information yet. And if you found this video helpful, please make sure that you like and subscribe. If it is that you are struggling with your CeMAP studies and you do need a little bit of extra guidance, click the link in the description, find out all the ways that I can help.